What's up, everybody? Welcome to another band discography ranking where I rank every album from a certain band or artist. I have done other band discography rankings in the past, such as Talking Heads, Nirvana, and the Beatles, along with others. Go check those out if you haven't already. But today I will be ranking all five of the Stooges albums. Yes, Stooges is a great band. I love them to death. They have an amazing frontman that is Iggy Pop. I love Iggy Pop as well. He's one of my heroes in music. And I might do an Iggy Pop ranking in the future, but today I'm doing the Stooges. So yeah. Okay, so before I get started, I just want to say originally I was going to do a album review for Blondie's Parallel Lines, but now I'm not going to, as you could tell, because I'm doing a Rankin album instead. I am no longer going to do album reviews. They are a pain to make. They're a pain to do those videos, and I'm just done. I'm done with them. So yeah, just letting y'all know. I apologize if you like my album reviews I've done. I apologize. I'm just done with them. Okay, so all right, Stooges. All five of their studio albums ranked from my least favorite to favorite. Okay, let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Okay, so coming in at number five, my least favorite Stooges album is their last album, Ready to Die. And this came out in the year, I want to say 2013, I think. I think that's right. I'm not entirely sure on that. But yeah, now I'll go and say Stooges don't have a bad album. I think all of them are good. Even the last two. Um, this album is all right. I didn't love it. There were some slow songs on there, some slow moments on the album that I just wasn't into really. And I don't know, it just wasn't a great album, but it's a decent album. My favorite song on here is Job. Um, but yeah, it's an okay album. Yeah, that is my number five, my least favorite, Ready to Die. All right, number four is the one before that one, and that is The Weirdness. That one came out in 2007, I think. And again, it's a decent album. I've put this one higher because it sounds more like the Stooges than Ready to Die does, and I don't know, it's a little bit better in my opinion. Although I will say the songs are kind of repetitive. A lot of them kind of sound the same, but still, like I liked it a lot better than Ready to Die. But with that being said, I don't love this album either. It's just okay. Um, Personal favorite songs from this one are "Free and Freaky," Mexican Guy. Yeah. Um, yeah, The Weirdness, that is my number four. Okay, so now we're getting to the really good stuff. Now we are. Okay, so coming in number three, we got their debut album, the self-titled album, just called The Stooges. Yeah, and I'll go and say, I actually don't own any of their albums, unfortunately, so that's why I'm not going to show the album covers. But yeah, I need to get some. I know. But yeah, the Stooges' debut album is really good. I really enjoy this one. It's uh, it's just a really cool album. There's some duds on there. I'm not into. I think the only one I'm not into is the last song, "Little Doll." I didn't really like that one all that much, and I thought it wasn't a very good way to end the album. That might be why it's at number three and not like at least number two, because I don't love Little Doll, and I don't think it should have ended with that song. Honestly, probably We Will Fall should have ended the album because that sounded more like a closing track than uh, Little Doll. Um, but yeah, my personal favorites on here are We Will Fall, which is a very underrated Stooges songs, and it's 10 minutes long. I love it. I honestly love it. I don't hear anyone really talk about when they talk about Stooges songs, but that one's great. Yeah, We Will Fall, Anne, which is I think another underrated Stooges song, and Not Right. and that one's also kind of underrated. Yeah, those are my three personal favorites. Are underrated songs from the album. I mean, of course, "I Want to Be Your Dog" is great, and 1969 is good. "No Fun" is good, but those three songs are really my jams. Like I love those songs. So yeah, the Stooges, self-titled. That is my number three. Okay, my number two is maybe one some people might put at number one. Maybe that is their second album, Funhouse, released in 1970. I forgot to mention the Stooges' self-titled album was released in 1969. If you could hear, my cat is meowing in the background, but but yeah, Funhouse is a really awesome album. I love the production on this album. It's really cool. Like, it kind of sounds like it was recorded like in a live in an empty arena almost. Like, it sounds awesome. Like, there's a lot of echo in it, and it's just really, really badass. I love it. The first side is awesome. The first side of songs, all four songs on the first side are all great. The only song I'm not into is honestly the self-titled song, Funhouse. That one, it's okay. It's not really my favorite, but the rest is great. Even the weird, crazy closing track called "L.A. Blues." That one's I even like that one. I think that's a pretty cool. I think that's a pretty cool way to end an album, unlike Little Doll. But yeah, my personal favorites on this one are "Loose," "Dirt," and 1970. Uh, all great songs there. "Dirt," I think, well, that and "We Will Fall" were the ones that like got me into the Stooges. But "Dirt," I remember loving that song, and it has a really awesome bass line in it too. Yeah. Funhouse is a great album, but if it wasn't for 1970, or not 1970, 1970 is great. If it wasn't for the self-titled track, it might would be my favorite. However, um, instead I went with the most obvious because I don't think there is a bad song on this album. My number one favorite Stooges album, and you've probably guessed it even before clicking on it. If not Funhouse, you were probably thinking this one. That is "Raw Power," released in 1973. Um, yeah, this album is awesome. Now, it does sound a little bit different from the other two, mostly because they got James Williamson to play guitar on this one. And originally it was actually, I think, just going to be an Iggy solo album, I think. Um, just with two Stooges members and a new guitar player, James Williamson. But they decided to call it Iggy and the Stooges, so it's technically a Stooges album. Um, but yeah, Raw Power is an amazing album. I understand why people love this one so much, and it's one of the most influential albums of all time. Even Kurt Cobain has said that this was his favorite album of all time. I completely understand. It's amazing. It's one of the most influential punk albums. It's just awesome. And like I said, I don't think there is a bad song on this album. My least favorite might be "Your Pretty Face Is Going to Hell," but even that one is still a banger. Um, yeah, it's just a really awesome album. And just a great rock album in general. Really, like I think this is one of the greatest rock albums ever made. Like it's that good. Personal favorites on this one are "Search and Destroy," which most people know that one. "Gimme Danger," really awesome song. The self-titled is fucking amazing, and also "Shake Appeal" is really cool too. Um, yeah, awesome album, and yeah, you probably get again, you probably knew that it was going to happen. It was going to be at number one. I'm sorry to go the most obvious route, but yeah, my number one favorite Stooges album is "Raw Power." Raw Power, I can feel it. Yeah. All right, so there we go. There is my ranking for all five of the Stooges studio albums. So in the comments, please give me your ranking for all of the Stooges albums, or just say what your favorite and least favorite albums are. All right, so um, Okay, so there should be. I know I kept saying this before, but hopefully there will be a new Your Cousins Are Critics episode. If you don't watch the Your Cousins Are Critics podcast, and you have nothing to worry about. Yeah, but in case you are wondering, yeah, hopefully it should be coming soon, like this Saturday. We'll see. I don't know, but we'll see. Anyways, and it should be on the movie Easy Rider. So yeah. Okay. So please like, subscribe, comment, and hit the bell. And I'll see you later. All right. Peace.